was turning that way, and then I heard a burst, a sound of a gun.
Church pastor hit by paintballs in a church parking lot in the middle of the day. 72-year-old says it was all over a parking spot. Only on two, he tells our Stephen Graves how the attack could have ended much worse.
Listen, parking spots are not worth it, but I get it. You know, you're there, and then they come try to bully you out of it. Because, look, they've been told that they can do no wrong. So, you're just being a man, you're standing your ground. It's not worth it. Let him have it. Let the Son Man have the parking spot. This guy could have had his life taken.
Church pastor hit by paintballs in a church parking lot in the middle of the day. 72-year-old says it was all over a parking spot. Only on two, he tells our Stephen Graves how the attack could have ended much worse.
This longtime priest of the people says this paintball attack is not easy to talk about, but he felt it was important just for people to see the pain and frustration something like this can cause. The 72-year-old still hurting from these two circular bruises on his stomach, telltale signs of a paintball attack.
It's important to show this, to tell people it is not a game that they are doing.
Reverend Father Primo Racimo walked us through how he was shot yesterday in broad daylight right in the St. Margaret Episcopal Church parking lot.
He was parked right here.
He says a man attending a funeral at a church across the street.
A man attending a funeral at the church across the street. Give me an idea on that guy who's attending a funeral in Chicago.
He was parked right here.
He says a man attending a funeral at a church across the street refused to move out of the permit-only lot. Father Racimo went to take a picture of the man's license plate, then walked away.
And then I heard a shot.
He turned around to take another picture and then was shot again.
And then I fell here.
The shooter got away. Pink paint splattered on the priest's clothes. Chicago police arrived later, an officer telling him he was lucky.
Yeah, this guy doesn't know how lucky he is. Just like this guy shot him with a paintball, this guy could have shot him with a real gun and off into the wind. And he would have just been dead. Like, it's that easy. Like, it's that easy for them. Like, there's no level of pettiness or just benignness of an argument that they won't shoot you over. Okay? Now, since 2020. There used to be something. Now, anything, they're pulling out a gun and shooting.
Because he said if it was closer, it might have penetrated your stomach.
But paintball attacks can be serious, even blind people. And around this time last fall, it became real in Chicago. Officers confiscating these guns and arresting 6 people. This year as a whole, there have already been several attacks. This priest ordeal makes it clear people are still armed and ready to possibly keep doing it.
Don't take any chances with this.
He almost said it. Don't take any chances with who? Just can't quite get it out. It's okay, Mr. Crouching Tiger. He's a Crouching Tiger, so he's got to say, he's got to be careful too. At least they're not making this out to be some kind of, racial thing. This had nothing to do with race. Even though this guy's a Crouching Tiger, it just happened to be. You ticked the Son Man off, and he shot you. Just like he would have done a Glacier Glider, just like he would have done an Ombrito, just like he would have done another Son Man.
don't take any chances with this. Don't play with it. That's as simple as I can say.
And now, because of this, the church's security is looking at installing security cameras. Reporting in South Shore, Stephen Graves, CBS 2 News.
Police are asking for your help this noon, finding several individuals they believe are responsible for 3 separate attacks in Sheepshead Bay, Brooklyn.
CBS 2's Karen Dillon is live at the scene at one of those attacks with more for us. Karen.
Mary and Jessica, police say the 3 assaults have a few things in common.
The 3 attacks have a few things in common. You mind telling us one of those things that these attacks have in common? I don't think she's going to do it.
Mary and Jessica, police say the 3 assaults have a few things in common. They all appear to be random, and the victims are all over the age of 60.
Okay, that's a nice tidbit. The victims are all over the age of 60? What kind of cesspool are these kids coming out of to where they think it's all right to attack 60-year-olds at random? Oh, they're going, old man, let's go get him. Yikes. Now, I'm not one of those banging on sisters, and, y'all know that, I hold the Sunmen accountable. But the Sunman's not in the home. And he wasn't taken out of the home. He willingly left the home, or he just made a baby with no intentions of making a home in the first place. However, somebody in that home has to instill something in these kids to where they're not going around beating down senior citizens for fun. Like, this is so common in democratically run cities. Just to go around knocking out senior citizens. I know you guys know about it because you subscribe to this channel, but people who are new don't know the depth of the scope of this. Like, this happens all the time, every day, everywhere, in every city, democratically run city. It's not even a big deal. Like, they do it so much. But I guess I'm just having a moment of like, even though I cover this stuff all the time, it's like, Jesus Christ.
Mary and Jessica, police say the 3 assaults have a few things in common. They all appear to be random, and the victims are all over the age of 60. In this disturbing video, an 81-year-old man can be seen biking down the street on Tuesday, then approached by a suspect near East 27th Street and Avenue X, who then appears to deck him. In this second video, just moments after the first incident, a group of young men can be seen walking on the sidewalk near Avenue U and East 29th Street. A 64-year-old man walks by, and the group then appears to punch him in the face, unprovoked. In another incident, a few hours later, in front of 2959 Avenue Y, police say a 76-year-old woman was also walking when she was approached by a stranger. Police say the suspect attempted to speak with her before punching her in the face and running off.
When I saw that video, I was really hurt. It is troubling.
Michael Jaffa owns Kosher Palace near where one of the attacks happened. He believes one of the victims is a customer at his store.
I have grandparents and I have a grandmother, and it hurt because as human beings, that's not what we're taught.
And that's about as far as he can go. As human beings, that's not what we're taught. I mean, it's so true. So true. But even that is muted. Like, if a cop killed one of these kids, would you be just give us such a muted, mundane statement? No, we'd get some passion and emotion. But he did the best he could. That's about as far as you're allowed to go. I mean, he has a business. He doesn't want picketers and rioters out, protesters outside of his business. He doesn't want to. It would just be a bad outcome if he told this news lady what he really thought about a group of teens going around targeting old people, running up on them from behind and clobbering them in the head as hard as they could and running off laughing.
I have grandparents and I have a grandmother, and it hurt because as human beings, that's not what we're taught.
Police now say the same 3 male suspects are behind the attacks, something that's terrifying to people who live and work in the area.
It feels crazy, like a crazy world that we live in, that people feel that they can't control their anger or the emotions.
Hold on, lady. What does this have to do with their anger and their emotions? See how they can't really be truthful about it, which is really scary because you don't know their real thoughts. They could be thinking like World War III, but they can't really say it. Their emotions. This is fun. This is like going to an amusement park. This is like whatever you do for fun. This is literally a game. I see they didn't knock any of these people out. I don't know about the woman. They didn't show the woman, but the 2 guys they didn't knock them out, so I guess they lost. They're 0 for 2, but still, it's a game. This is a game. This is fun. This is the equivalent of shooting some hoops or playing dominoes or something, or going for a bike ride. This is fun, lady. This has nothing to do with their emotions or anger about anything. This isn't the state of the racial climate of the country's called. No. This is fun. They're having fun.
It feels crazy, like a crazy world that we live in, that people feel that they can't control their anger or the emotions.
Many neighbors say they'll be watching their backs until the suspects are caught.
Someone should feel safe in their own neighborhood, and these are like helpless people, like not helpless, but innocent victims.
So police say all 3 victims sustained bruises to the face but are expected to recover. Anyone with information is asked to call police. We are live this afternoon in Sheepshead Bay, Brooklyn. Karen Dillon, CBS 2 News.